All right. Hello, everyone. All right. Yep. I'm ready. Shut up. Feels like it's a bit quiet. I don't know if that's No, it is. It is a bit quiet. Is it just this song? This. I think there might be some sort of problem with my headphones. It's really finicky. Let me know if the volume is good. I think it might have just been that one song. I was like, whoops, no, don't do that. It's just been that one song that was a bit quiet. It doesn't matter too much. I'm not a good judge for this. Sometimes, you know, I'll be honest. Sometimes I'll see other streams where the streamer is asking about the volume, and the volume is like bad. Like the game is way too quiet or way too loud, or they're too quiet, or like everything is too quiet or loud overall. Usually it being too loud is not a problem because you can just keep lowering the volume. But if it's too quiet, then you might like max out the volume and it's still not enough. That's kind of annoying. But then the chat is just like, yeah, it's great, it's perfect. And it's like, no, it isn't perfect. Keep complaining so they change something. So I would be bothered if you guys did that. But usually I listen back to the streams for a little bit and it's like, okay, it sounds fine. And usually I use the same settings, or I try to use the same settings. But they always change around somehow. Alright, so yeah, thanks for stopping by for a little bit at least. Yeah, this is, you know what? Hold on. I think we've made a mistake here. Bringing Slowcats into regions they normally cannot access. Can you imagine if they added fish in the game? What? Edible fish? I think it's strange that there's not many aquatic creatures that are just like regular. Like, okay, you go to Shoreline, right? What do you find? What do you find in Shoreline? You find jetfish. You find snails, maybe in some weird areas. You find like salamanders, but those are basically just lizards, right? There's not really any fish that are not jetfish. And jetfish are kind of bizarre. Yeah. Let's do a practice run first. What happens when Hunter reaches the Slowcat tree? I mean, my assumption for any situation like that is the game just crashes. I don't know what would happen otherwise. Also, this might be a shorter stream. They instantly die. Yeah, of course. Huh. That is very bizarre. Like, does it like when it would show the cutscene, does it just show the death screen instead? Or do you actually like die in game? But yeah. So this is pilgrimage, which means I need to remember the routing. Okay, so it shows you the screen that you would see after you die on the last cycle. Maybe they just hung out around the tree and eventually that happened. I mean, you know, every other slug cat just kind of like stays at the tree, right? Actually, no, Gourmand doesn't. Gourmand travels. Not even just fish. I think there should be more just like kind of like a kind of boring creatures. I'm just like I always mention egg bugs as my example. They're just a creature that doesn't really do too much, but they just kind of exist. They're a food source, but they really try to like survive. Background bugs update. Well, that's interesting. Creatures like egg bugs, cicadas, noodle flies, they're kind of like, they're not I guess like non-predator creatures is what I'm really asking for. Just kind of feel like they're also just kind of there trying to survive in the ecosystem. Don't do that. It's like weird interactions with the poles like that. I'm trying to be careful. Frogs. That's a funny view. Is it weird that frogs exist? I feel like every time I see frogs, they seem incapable of surviving. That was a weird delay to that. You ever see those videos of like a frog just trying to eat like a single bug right in front of its face and it fails? Well, we already have Saint, so I think that's that covered. Oops, hold up. Don't do a backflip there. What are you doing? And not only do frogs exist, but there's like a lot of them. Turn storage. I do wonder, I don't really remember too much from the previous runs that I've done. I don't really remember where the best places are to save time. I'm just kind of doing the same run and hoping that I get like one good one eventually. Maybe depths. I mean, I don't really think so. Actually, the last run had a death in it, right? Like I died right outside of a shelter, and yeah, I remember that. I was awful. I don't even think I did anything correctly. Fun room. I picked up a rock. There we go. You want a backfly here? I think it saves. I mean, it's like such a convenient place to get food. Or if you're really lucky, backfly could just fly into the shelter for free. Always good to rely on that, you know? Ah, come on. That wasn't enough. I guess you need to throw boost with 2 items, but that's more difficult. Okay, that was a risk. I felt like I waited a very long time there. That was possible. These guys have been pretty accurate, has it? I don't know about this one. I know the other chimney song was played. Hold up, I need to practice this again. Right here. Do a slide pounce right here. Nope. Right here. I think that was the right position, but the wrong timing. That was just weird. That just didn't work. I love wall pounces, but they are inconsistent. There we go. I guess a little bit further back than I thought it was. Hold up, let me turn off lag. To just do the roll pounds immediately when you land. Bends on the wall that are kind of mess with the wall jump. What if I did a wall pounce here? It does not go to the right place at all. And I kind of wonder, I mean, this looks like it's way too high, right? You cannot even get there at all. Hold up. Could I do a pull hop here? Could I do 3 pull hops here? Could. This remains pretty difficult. I think I need to do this a little bit further forward. And also I need to remember not to do a even that, like, that didn't work. Then, oh, hold up, didn't I find an alternative of basically just doing that? She actually kind of consistently grabbed the second pull there. Nope, just kidding. You can just kind of do that, right? No need to like line it up with that one very precise slide pounce. And also this works properly. Good practice music. It's always nice to hear this song. I didn't even try to go into that pipe. And I always end up seeing white lizards in this tunnel. I guess that's just kind of a, you know, kind of expected. This song does not play at all. I don't even think it plays in arena mode. I didn't even try to do this. But part of the song was remixed and put into some tunnel. Do I even bother with that? Anyway, that's one. Now we can do this this sort of boost. Get the rock again. Ooh, that's bad. Don't do that. Could I? What if I try to land a wall bounce there? Right in that corner. Right here. Oh, it's a little bit. It's like one tile further back than it looks. I had turned storage somehow. If I'm struggling to get this once, then I don't know about its viability, but I will try. Well, maybe that's what I should have expected. Yeah. The only reason it works in the other place is because... Actually, hold on, doing a fingers. That might not even be worth it. I mean, if I come out of this pipe like this, that could work. I should probably already have movement for this area. That's probably fine. I just tried to fast pull climb. You hold this empty husk of land. Remember not to fall. Right. I always forget. It's really hard to remember to not like just die. That would work perfectly if it was just a little bit further. What if I did? Hold up. Idea. This is like super risky. Good work. I also feel the chance of throwing myself off and falling. Despite recommendations. I mean, it's not too bad, is it? Try this again. Whatever I did there, it still works. So, one less fail case, but, do I actually like doing that, though? Because you kind of hang in the air for a long time without really moving that much, right? Let's compare that to the alternative of, doing that, I guess. I wonder if you could... Can't really get a good pull hop there, or there. I mean, I feel like the slide bounce is like really... This just kind of feels fun, right? Now that was a turn storage variation. Also, this room, I never feel confident in this room. Because stuff like that can happen. If I just don't know the spacing. So if I just do 2 slide pounces. So let's like run out of the pipe, do 2 slide pounces just immediately with no delay at all. That's safe. I missed that jump at the end, but I still rolled to safety. What if I did a roll pounce too? It always looks like it's about to rain. I mean, it is raining already. You just don't have enough space for that. What if I had an item? So here's a rock, right? What if I tried to do an extended slide immediately? Sorry about the cursor. That's just like, that works very well. I feel like as long as you get, as long as you get that, like just anywhere really, it should work out. When a slide pounce right there works out nicely. You know, if I need food, there's two of these right here. But going to that little platform over there is kind of annoying. Hello? Into the stream. And also, I want to be able to throw boost later, so I can't just hold on to these until the shelter. Oh, hey. Welcome to the stream at the same time. And okay, there was a rock right here, so I feel like if I have that opportunity, I should just take it. And this movement right here, I want to practice. 'Cause I haven't been able to do that successfully in a run, and it's so it's very like satisfying to pull that off. Problem is that you need a rock, so I feel like you shouldn't be holding any items, so you can guarantee that you're gonna be holding something. Although usually items will spawn like right here on the floor. See, like, why didn't those work? For what reason? Whiplash move, this is a whiplash. See, why didn't that work? I feel like I did the same exact thing. the den. I feel like the den is messing with things. Rivulet just doesn't feel like it. Playing Brawl right now. Okay, that time it worked. Was it because I was higher up? Like up here? But that's a really weird interaction. I'm running out of rocks and I don't have the mod to spawn them in. Maybe I don't, hold up. Maybe I don't even need to use an item. Don't backflip. Also don't run. Maybe I should like really delay the rocks or pretend to look for rocks again. Oh, you know, I forgot to go up here to activate the echo, so I guess I'll do that now. But rocks, thank you. Are you familiar with the movement? I can't even tell what series of inputs that uses. Okay, for this jump, it doesn't work. The game is broken. The rocks like really blend in with the environment with this palette. See, I'm doing all the same inputs that you normally would for any other. It works that time. If I can get this to work without a rock, that'd be nice. I mean, okay, down in the corner of the screen, here's an input display. You just want to see what buttons I'm pressing. Hold up, I don't even have an item, so there's no point doing that. Okay, let's just try this again. Not very intentional. Yeah, I meant to go down there. I wanted to retry. Just review the things. That's pretty good, that movement there. And I would prefer to do an AI hop there. And then if I don't have a rock, then 2 slide pounces are fine. Otherwise, do an extended slide pounce. Do slide pounce there. Yeah, I could have done that better, but it's not a huge deal. I think I want to try to do that slide into the den. If I can find a centipede, they are the best source of food. They don't really take much time to eat, and I only need to catch 1 creature. And this room is just filled with centipedes, goodness. And the echo is active. They shouldn't be because I activated them on the cycle that I died. So just ignore them. I really want this movement to work, but it's so inconsistent. What if you could do something like... You can, actually. You can do something like that if you want. We are actually completely skipping the farmer's echo. I tested for a very long time to see if it would be worth going there, but it's too far out of the way to be worth going to. We're going to be visiting the Sky Islands Echo, which I've already activated, and the Subterranean Echo, because we're going to go down Subterranean to get to the depths. That's where we're heading. That's actually a fastball climb for just a little bit. If I do a... not really. That didn't really get you the distance. I mean, we still have to go through Farm Rays. It's not like we're skipping it completely. I think getting a bat... Oh, I picked Pro instead. Getting a bat fly like this is probably the best room for food. I'm open to answer any questions about this speedrunning or just the game in general. Wait, hold on. I might notice what I'm doing. I'm not dead. Okay, that's very close. I don't think the echo makes a difference really. See, what was that? I mean that was the den obviously, but that's just really annoying. See, that's the goal. If you're trying to like, you don't know what I'm trying to do here. See if I can just do it correctly one time. This makes me not want to do this. Like, it's so fast if it works correctly. Like, look at that. A perfect arc across the whole room. If I get lucky with this one, like, jank collision. Saw a mod where they added mosquitoes. That sounds fun. And then the fact that can happen if you mess it up. And why does the den have any influence over me before I even touch the wall? It should be it should be like into the wall, right? Because this is like a thing that you can kind of climb into. So this should be like cut into the wall, and the flat part should remain completely untouched. But that's not at all how the physics works. So, like, why did that work? And if you think this is a problem with the wall pounce, hold up, let me find a better location. I'm very consistent with wall pounces. Like, here's a wall. Let's do some wall pounces off of this wall. Yeah, it works. And if I use an item instead, like this is also incredibly consistent. I can do this. It is a problem with this terrain specifically. I'm trying to wall pounce off of this part above the den. And then when it does work, it's like, why did it work? What did I do differently that time? I don't know, man. And I really wanted this just to do that real quick and you bounce up. Doesn't seem like that's how it's gonna happen. Alright. And the problem is that the alternative is like very slow, like climbing up these poles. This takes quite a while. I guess you could do something like that, but it feels like unnecessary. Like, where are you going down to go up first? So, well, I'm still moving upwards. I don't know. Oops. I meant to do, actually, you know, hold on. Let's try that again. See, that was great. No matter how much I want to do that that jump, it doesn't work. Whatever, let's just keep going. At most, that would save a few seconds if I did it correctly. I'll end up losing more time by trying to do it and failing. Yes, this is noisy. Honestly, it might actually be one of my least favorite songs on the whole OST, but it was requested to be added so here it is. I went too far. Interesting to see how much work goes into these speedruns. This is definitely a unique case. There's actually not too many. Oops. Okay, I'm bad. Not many speedrunners do this kind of thing. For Rainbow. For other games, absolutely. But it really depends on how popular the game is to speedrun. If like, let's say like 100 people are actively speedrunning the game, the top spot is going to be very competitive. I should just take this way slower. The top spot is going to be very competitive, so people are going to be looking for every possible way to save a few seconds to be able to compete with the record, right? But in Rain World, let's this is the category that I'm running is Rivulet Pilgrimage Percent, where you play as Rivulet and you try to get to the depths after visiting 4 echoes. 2 other people have attempted to speedrun at all. If you want some perspective. Why did that happen? And I already have the world record, so I'm really just doing this to improve my own time because I enjoy the speedrun. There are other categories that have gotten more attention and more optimizations, like Survivor. A lot of the Survivor categories, because Survivor was the original character before like any updates or DLC. So you know, it's like the 80% speedrun or the Perils percent speedrun. Those have been like pretty optimized for Survivor. But the DLC characters, well, they're not even that new. They're like over a year old now. But there just hasn't been, not as many people have been interested in speedrunning these. Yeah, Pebbles can't really help you. And even then, I don't think you're allowed to go to Pebbles for a pilgrimage run. I think the whole point is to get echoes instead. I don't know about runs where Pebbles only gives you one karma level like an echo. Because in that case, he's basically just, another echo. He's probably still considered to be a different thing though. Favorite category right now? I mean, I'm liking this one. It's Rivulet, I think, has 2 categories that are really interesting. That would be Pilgrimage and Story Descent. And Story Descent might be the most optimized speedrun right now. Not in terms of the actual like world record run, because that run had so many mistakes. But the like ideal route has been figured out to in great detail. We pretty much know the best movement for every single room throughout the run, which you can't say about most other speedruns for this game. Maybe like any recent categories that are like 10 minutes long. But the actual category itself, like speedrunning it, is actually kind of frustrating. It's significantly more difficult, and there's also some more elements of RNG, a lot more elements of RNG. Still much better compared to some other speedruns, like Speedermaster. I'd say Rivulet is one of the easier characters to just get to the end, But in terms of the going as fast as possible, that is a very high skill ceiling, and I think that's what makes it appealing to me. I generally prefer challenges that have like games that have a really low skill floor but a very high skill ceiling. So games that aren't really that difficult, but you can push them really far. Can I think of a good example of something like that? I don't know. But think of a game like Celeste. Celeste is not too challenging. I mean, it definitely has some involved platforming for the base levels. Yeah, I guess you consider the Mario games too, but like platformers like that where it's like just beating the game is not too difficult. Anyone who puts the time into it can beat the game. But speedrunning the game has such depth to it, such complexity and like skill required to like push it super far. Like it's a very popular speedrunning scene. The game is almost kind of designed to be speedrun, even though it's still like very approachable for new players. And farewell, but that's kind of like the end game. That's Celeste. I messed up. That's meant to be very difficult. TF2 rocket jumping. It's definitely a strange thing to discover that TF2 rocket jumping is like an entire community. When a game is so popular that its tiny little niche fan-made games are like very popular, are very big communities on their own. Maybe not like extremely popular, definitely not, but it's like it definitely exists. Okay, I'm at max karma. Where's my special abilities? Don't die here. That was the mistake I made last time. I literally just fell to my death in this room. I don't know why I threw that. I guess the reasoning for the echoes is that some of them are in such niche specific places that you might reach them without enough karma, and if they weren't there, you would just never decide to return. Like, what does this put in this little room in the corner? Love that E-slide. Going over, like, slightly uneven terrain with one slide. It's great. Because the other echoes are like... Yeah, like that subterranean echo, if it wasn't always active, it would be so easy to miss. Because even if you decided to go there without enough karma, you would like not find anything. What is this like random room on the side? And you would never return there and never find that echo. But since it's always active, you're, you know, if you decide to stumble over in that direction for whatever reason, then you're gonna be rewarded with an echo. Although lots of the time, people who go there will like already see pebbles and be at max karma, so it doesn't really help. And it just kind of sets you back to your shelter, which might actually mean that you lose a lot of progress if you didn't shelter right before then. Each like a unique ability at max karma would be interesting idea. I actually said that as a joke, as in it's kind of strange that this ability that Saint has. Like, you know, we all know that Rain World normally does not have any sense of progression at all. All of the progression that you make is knowledge, learning how to navigate the world, and how to deal with creatures and like how to move around, stuff like that, you know. But then giving like Saint, I mean Saint has a lot of stuff going on. Saint gets a special ability when they get max karma, and I guess that is the whole point of the campaign. Get max karma, but it's still like kind of weird. Like, oh, here's a special ability. It's like you're playing a different game all of a sudden. Because it's green. I really did not get a single rock in that whole room. I think that would be an interesting mod. Like, oh, the Slick Heads get special abilities at max karma, and it's like, oh, you now have the secondary goal of getting max karma to unlock some sort of fun ability. Yeah. Okay, interesting mod. But for Rain World, I don't think it fits at all. And unfortunately, that's how some elements of Downpour kind of feel like. Yeah, this is cool, but it kind of feels modded, and that's because it is. Downpour was a mod for most of its life. Masters deserve to get their mouse back. No, Moon should give you surgery. If you're like, whoa, you don't have a mouse, poor thing. Here you go. Now you can bring this pearl back. Like, that would justify the really long dialogue. Immortality. And honestly, lore-wise, it makes more sense if you actually lost abilities by reaching max karma. That you lost any attachment to the world, to reality, you know. Because max karma represents ascension. If you're leaving the world behind. But it's giving you like a fancy ability that you can then go around and play around with. And, you know, that doesn't. genuinely like watch out for that. Don't do that. There was quite a long delay after I had already entered the water. It's interesting that was that gave me a point. Feature list. I did not want to mess with that. Max Karma ability should make you want to stay in the world less. I don't think that makes sense. Unless it literally made the game harder. Like, oh shoot, I need to leave right now. So I mean, some have said that the game is really difficult and painful to make you want to stop playing it. So that your goals are aligned with the slow path of trying to ascend. Which I think that's a very valuable way to like, it's a very good way to like tell a story, to try to align the viewer's goal with the main character's goal. So like if the slow cat wants to ascend, I should want to ascend too. I guess if the game really is that painful, then that would be that explanation. But I don't think you want to purposely make a game painful unless it's like a rage game or something. But even then, like those kind of games are satisfying to beat. It's like, oh, it's so difficult, but I managed to overcome it eventually. You know, there is still some sense of satisfaction there, but I don't think Rainworld is trying to be a really painful, frustrating game to play. It just is, you know. It's just something that you need to get used to. Sand can eat literally nothing now. If you aren't already in like filtration system, you cannot swim. Chance of giving 1/4 food tip. That would take a long time. You need what, like 4 food tips to? No. 3? Wait, actually forget. Spear Master Saint, but you're blowing them up instead of just having them. What a strange game that we're all still playing. Well, maybe it's just me at this point. I think you can ascend Batflies. Now, can you ascend the background bugs? Oh yeah, you can also like try to eat them and it just makes the Batfly vanish. You can literally just pop them out of existence. Yeah, Artie can reach max karma with a scavenger body. But they're like in their inherent level only goes to 9. Unless you can like teleport yourself to another echo. When are we gonna get to play as the background bugs? Also, I'm gonna have to be like very fast. I know that's already the goal, but like especially so now. It's a very short cycle. We're living. Oh, come on. I'm trying to avoid those nails. I only made it worse. Oh, hi. I didn't notice you actually. Sorry. Oh, you're a nuisance. So are you. Not anymore. Right, it just has to be done. What was that noise? I think that was actually a noise from the previous room. Perfect. I mean, almost perfect. You can never catch me. Like in Rain World 2, you're playing as an ancient in the farm raise and you're just farming. That's it. And it never ends. It's like an idle game. Every time you think it's gonna end, you restart the whole thing. Excuse me. But it's actually almost like thematically fitting. Sorry. Yeah, I caught a batfly. I think I might be living. Yeah, we're fine. So that's what happens when you have 6 pips on the timer. Don't exit. Okay, that didn't exit. Well, I think that actually lost time. Whatever. Because this gate is gonna open slowly. I mean, I just imagine that it's been such a long time that whatever farms were set up, they've kind of fallen apart. The Rainbow community has it likes to like assume that since everyone agrees on something that it's definitely true. Like, oh, everyone says this thing, so it's probably true. Regardless of if the game actually confirms it or not, which it usually doesn't. very fun. I like that side pounce. By the way, the next area is probably one of the most dangerous because of a large quantity of lizards. By the way, if you are familiar with Leave the Company, there's a new update for that game I want to talk about. So if you want to avoid spoilers, then leave for like a minute. But in the updates, the new fox creature, kidnapper fox, I think they would actually be really fitting as a creature in Rain World. I mean, we talked about them being a white lizard secretly. Did I just hit something? But you know, think about a creature that like hid in like some sort of plants. Like there'd be an area just covered in these plants, and they would hide specifically within this area where they cannot be seen. They wouldn't be invisible like the white lizards. They would just be they'd blend in with the environment. It's like kind of camouflage. I don't know if there's any camouflage creatures other than white lizards that specifically have a colored scheme that like matches with the environment that they're in. I don't know if that's the thing. Oops, please. Also, yeah, I'm pretty sure, Prediction Killwa, I'm pretty sure that the way it works is that if the Vantage Crowds will spawn in randomly in a big cluster, and if the cluster is large enough, then a fox will also spawn in. And there's also a chance that the fox can respawn if you kill it. I haven't seen that though. I guess drop wigs, yeah, they kind of blend in with like the vines that you can see on ceilings. Also, I did eventually find out what the other monster is. They're certainly interesting. Honestly, I feel like most of the contents in the update so far feels kind of unpolished or unfinished. It's definitely beta, so you know, I hope that it gets improved. Yeah, they look kind of strange. It kind of looks like a placeholder model. But maybe that really is the look that they're going for. Yeah, like worm grass, but it doesn't kill you instantly, but instead there's something hiding in the worm grass that you need to be worried about. That kind of thing. And also, like, the box, they looked like their behavior didn't quite work the way they were supposed to. It's the way that I thought that they would work, and that way that I think that has been confirmed by my further observation of them, but they are supposed to hide in the mange crowds and basically, like, stalk you from within, where you can't see them, or they will like journey outside of the plant's radius, and then try to like sneak up from behind, you know, like a bracken. It's weird that they were so attracted to the ships, though. It feels unintentional. I mean, I understand that maybe it's interesting behavior if they end up going to the ship. Like, that could be interesting, but it feels unintentional how they just kind of sit there and just kind of... Oh, goodbye, bad fly. It's weird that they just kind of sit there and do nothing inside your ship. It's like, it feels broken that they're just sitting there, even if it is intended behavior. Hello, excuse me. And usually making behavior feel more natural and less like, it's good to make it not feel like broken, even if that is the way that it's supposed to look, unless it's literally like a robot. But also remember that shoot. Creature boost. Yo, let's go. Remember that the previous update, version 50, also had an extensive beta period where it received many updates, and a lot of the jank stuff got fixed or adjusted. So that can definitely happen for this one too. And also there's a decent chance of some new content being added that isn't just the creatures in the car, right? I have seen the old birds. Okay, I actually didn't really get much chance to talk about this. So, you know, we're talking about Rivulet Company now, even though I'm at like in the middle of a run. But the previous update content was very good, very high quality. I'm a fan of most of it. The problem is that most of it is only applicable to late game runs with a big group. There's a new moon called the Artifice, and it's basically like Titan but harder. But it has like way more items. So in a big group, it's like, I think it's the best option for high quota runs. But of course the trade-off is that that was a weak wall pounce. Oh my gosh. Why am I getting such bad jumps? The trade-off is that old birds are super common and they're very dangerous. Artificer? Not everything is a Rainworld reference. I know it's hard to understand. The problem is that Artifice is just like a super late game area. There's a ton of items, but it's quite difficult to get them, so it's really only worthwhile if you're in a big group that can like not die. Solo, I cannot find any success on that map, and it's really hard to just get to the map in the first place. It's so expensive. But it just takes too long to get items back, because usually the good strategy, like at least from what I've seen, I don't really know what like the super meta strategy is, but one good strategy is to have one person use a jetpack and everyone else can look for items and just put them outside the front entrance, and that one guy can just fly back and forth and bring all of the items back. So, and they can do that early in the day, so they have no risk of dying to creatures. And by the time the creatures get really dangerous, you've already brought most of the items back, so there's not too much of a risk. You don't lose too much if everyone ends up dying, as long as that one jetpack person stays back on the ship to be safe. Would car? I think the car was designed for Artifice, because there's a really nice flat path straight up to the main entrance. But there's still kind of some uneven terrain before then that seems hard to navigate, and the ideal use case for the car is that you spend the entire day collecting items, and you put it all in the car, and at the very end of the day, you drive it back, and you can carry everything back in one go. The problem is that by the end of the day in Artifice, there's so many horrible creatures outside that you're definitely not going to make it back. Assuming that the old birds target the car, which they probably will. They target everything. Hello, welcome to the stream. I have a feeling that the car is going to be adjusted. Or maybe the maps. I mean, I think best case scenario is that the car's controls are made a little bit more manageable, because I've seen a lot of other people try it as well, and no one has found success with it. After the stream, I also went back eventually and tried to experiment with the car or with the truck, I should call it a truck. I tried the truck on literally every single map, and I could not get to the entrance and back a single time. Or even getting to the entrance was very challenging. It's possible on March, And it's I mean, do you really consider it's like would it even be worthwhile on like experimentation? There's not even like enough items to carry back to make the truck worth it. Or like assurance, where it's like you could I did manage to drive there once, but it took like the entire day because the train is so uneven. And then oh, there's scavengers. And if any creature shows up at all, like even a single baboon hawk can destroy the truck. If a dog shows up, good luck. If a giant shows up, good luck. Why do the scavengers attack the overseers? Either because they just don't like them, or because they think that the eyes are valuable and shiny like pearls, so they want to take them. They do accept the eyes, overseer eyes, in trades. But basically what I was saying about the version 50 update for Lethal Company, it's a lot of really cool content. I'm especially a fan of the secret moons that you have to like kind of discover by reading like hints scattered around the game. They aren't just like on the list of moons you can go to, but you have to go looking for them, and it's like, oh, it's so cool to discover like a secret moon. But I just don't think that any of the new content is particularly impactful for the way that I play the game. And I feel like it's going to stay that way for a long time. It's just not, there's no reason to design, there's no reason to design a game around the single player experience. That's just not how it is. So people like me who just play solo runs on assurance repeatedly, you know, I don't think we're going to get anything like fancy. There was Adamance though. It's a new moon that is somewhat viable. In my experience, it's like still very challenging. I don't think it's as worthwhile. There's not really enough items to justify the risk of like incredible amounts of outdoor monsters. By the end of the day, you're going to be dealing with multiple giants, tons of baboon hawks, probably some dogs too, maybe an old bird if you're especially unlucky. I'm just gonna go over this. That guy's kind of blocking the path down there. Please climb. Goodness. This is a really bad room. Still is. I really like the old birds in terms of their design, and I mean everything about their design is very, very high quality. I just don't think I'm gonna be interacting with them that much, because they're only on the end game areas like Artifice. Same with the other new monster that I didn't see in the previous stream. I don't think I'm gonna be encountering them that often. That's a spitter spider. They show up most often on Dine and Embryon, which is the other secret moon. Yeah, that was a really bad situation to be in. Oh, okay. I'll try to make it to the end, but I don't have high expectations for this. Oh, and what else was added in the previous version 50? who's the butler. Who's also a monster that I'm not really a fan of for single player, so yeah. Yes! Oh, that's wonderful. That's actually probably the best strategy for that room. But it probably requires a very specific timing on the AI hop, so it's not reliable at all. I like split between trying to go below and above, but I ended up just going too high. I think that there is a chance that the truck could be viable, even for solo runs. If it got to the point where you could actually use it on some maps effectively, without spending the whole day and like letting you carry like way more items on like Rend, let's say, Rend or Dine. Oh, you probably not gonna want to go to Dine. Let's say that you were effectively able to use it on Rend, and you got too many items that you could not carry back. Maybe it could be useful. It's like best case scenario. World record. Every run I do is a world record, because I'm not submitted any of them yet. My previous record for pilgrimage as Riv was 26:32. This is not even that much better than that. Than that run that I did over a year ago. Yeah. Disappearing again. I want to get a low 25. I think that's my goal. And my personal best that I have not submitted yet, I think it's like a high 25, like a 25.50 or something like that. I think I've gotten a run like that before. Playing a speed game with Iced, because Iced is streaming that at the moment. Have fun with that. Okay, let's actually focus and not just talk about Lisa Company the whole time. Iced is another Rain World speedrunner. He also does a lot of variety stuff. Actually, he very rarely speedruns Rain World anymore. But that's normal. Mainly active on Twitch. Kind of a bad start. It's fine. It's only like 2 seconds slower than the previous run. Also, you know, something I want to discuss. Some people are still talking about Leaf the Company, by the way. Some people are disappointed that there's not more content in the updates, which I think is just like a weird thing to say for a beta that it's literally not like announced in any way. Like it's kind of secretly tucked into Steam, you know. That's not the right word, but whatever. It was silently added on the Steam, and people noticed, of course. Would it have been better if the update released a few days before then and was like fully announced as was the official update with no bugs and all the contents? Yeah. But is there any obligation by the developer to consistently release content updates with a ton of stuff? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think honestly, it wouldn't even been that strange if the game released in its original state and then had no updates at all. It's like, it's nice that we're getting updates, free updates, to a game that is already very cheap. It's kind of weird to like keep asking for more, honestly. Like it's nice for the developer to continue to add content. But people take that and assume that new content is a guarantee. There's always going to be new and very high quality content when there's no I think that's unreasonable to expect. It's like it's a nice benefit to do it anyway. And I think that it is still fine to complain about the updates and say that here, hey, there's problems with this, because it's a beta, and feedback is important, but there's no reason to be toxic about it. See how much Rain World is updated? Oh yeah. Or you can play some really old some really old game that doesn't get any updates at all, and you're like very familiar with every single tiny bug and glitch that is still left in it. Or I guess that has always been left in it. Just can't receive updates at all. People treating it like a fully released AAA title. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it literally is like one person making all the programming and making models and sound effects and stuff. Although I can't confirm that completely. I know that some other people have worked on the music, and the music that is there is pretty limited. That isn't like the boombox or the disco ball. I just got stunned by doing that. I don't know why I stopped doing that. Please. The rhythm, it's easy to mess it up just once. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna make it, I'll be honest. Unless I get lucky with the rain type. Especially after that. Like it's already about to start raining. Yeah, short cycle. That does mean that I will slower though. Really? I feel like there definitely are some variations to the way the rain works. Like there's the type where it like it builds up and then it stops, and then like after a short delay there's the heavy raindrops and then instantly heavy rain, just like that. Or because the normal type is just that it builds up gradually and eventually gets to the point where it's lethal, you know. Those definitely feel like very distinct types, as well as the type where it like kind of goes in and out repeatedly. Like it fluctuates between the heavy rain and normal or no rain at all, and like the frequency keeps increasing until it's constant. That like the terrain there is so strange. That's interesting. Oh, welcome back. So karma caching, always karma caching. Love speedrunning and holding down for 2 minutes. You know, it's interesting. I've actually tried to speedrun some other games recently. Like in the past, like 6 months. But I feel like there's like, it takes so much effort to like learn a route at all. Because I'd say there's two stages to it, well, probably more, but like two main stages where it's like, first you just need to learn the routes and like what to do at all. And then once you are like confident with the route that you can do it without even thinking, then you need to start, then you like just need to repeat it many times to practice it to improve, you know. Like you're not pausing to like think like, okay, where do I do? What do I need to do? You know, that's all intuitive, but now you're just like, how can I do it better? How can I go do it faster? Just that first stage of just learning everything, that's like a huge pain, especially for like really long categories, like an hour-long speedrun. I feel like with the way Rain World works, you know, we're always in the same world. So even if you learn an entirely new speedrun, there's a very high chance that it goes through many areas that you've already gone through before and that you've already learned the movement for. So it's not really learning a new speedrun, you're just kind of learning, okay, go from this area to this area to this area, and I know the movement for all of that already. Or if you don't know the movements, then it's not too hard to kind of intuit some decent movement. Just kind of make it up as you go. And eventually you can kind of refine that just by repeating it. So you can kind of skip parts of that first phase, as long as you have decent knowledge of the world already. For some games, doing a speedrun is almost a completely different experience than just playing it normally. And so sometimes I'm like, oh, this is an interesting game to speedrun. I'm gonna try this, and then I approach it like I'm in the last stage already, but in reality, I need to kind of slog through the first few stages of learning everything just in the first place. And sometimes it's like some skip or some tech. It's like it doesn't look too difficult, but when you try it, it's actually very difficult, and you realize that, oh, I'm gonna need to spend a lot of time just practicing this one technique to have a chance of doing a speedrun, or otherwise take a much slower route as an alternative. And for Rain World, it wasn't even that hard to get into because I feel like I already played the game so much just casually. I was very familiar with just moving around the world, so just playing the game wasn't too different than doing a speedrun. Extra thing stacked on top of a bunch of hours of experience, yeah. I think that if I speedrun games a lot, as in not just Rain World, but like it was a hobby to try new games with the intent of speedrunning them from the beginning, I'm sure that if you did that a lot, then those first few stages would be much better. You would kind of know the process to get into it and to learn the routes more effectively. But that's not me. To get in the short cycle. There's this one game that I've tried to speedrun. It's kind of... It's like a text-based game, but also kind of like a point-and-click adventure. And so learning the speedrun ends up being memorizing where to click on the screen very quickly. I feel like I still want to try that though, because it's actually very short. And it's a game that I want to stream anyway. Mini Shoot, I also want to speedrun that game, but I don't think I have the time to put into that. I learned like the first half of the routes, but even now it's like changing very quickly, so some of that I learned is probably outdated already. But eventually, the problem with mini shoots that I've realized is that you can respec your skill points, your levels. So every time you find something, you want to respec all of your skills into DPS upgrades. And whenever you're moving from one point to another, you want to respec all of your skills into movement speed. And so in the later parts of the run, you're basically constantly switching between a full DPS loadout and a full movement speed loadout every single time you do anything. It's like a single mini boss shows up, time to switch to the full DPS loadouts. Okay, that guy is dead, time to switch to the movement speed loadouts and move for like 20 seconds. It's time to switch back to, you switch back so often. Let's combine it with that spider. Nice turret storage. As in annoying turret storage. Does Rivulet have any notable exploits? Well, you saw the exploit that I did at the beginning of this run, the karma caching. It lets you gain infinite karma without needing to eat food, which saves a lot of time, but it is kind of boring and very easy to do. It's not particularly interesting. There's not really many examples of a... Oh, thank you for... That guy took the spear. Deer skip. If you're familiar with the reindeer and farmers, they are slow and inconsistent and basically just the worst thing ever. But there is a glitch to basically skip those rooms within a few seconds. It looks really interesting. It's very bizarre. Bat spearing, I don't think that's really used in any speedruns. You can use bat spearing, or maybe just regular spearing and going through a pipe, but you can teleport to the other side of a room, but it's so niche, it's only useful in a single room in one category. Most runs use karma caching. If you start at low karma and you need to get through a high karma gates, karma caching is just the fastest option. But some characters have different starting conditions, maybe you don't need to go through a high karma gates early on. Maybe a scavenger just kills you immediately. Like Hunter starts at karma 3, I think. I think Hunter starts with karma 3, which means that you can immediately go up to Sky Islands, shelter normally, and then starve, and then you can get an echo, and then you're at max karma, and that's pretty fast. Artificer starts, well, Artificer's karma is completely different. You just use a scavenger's karma, so you basically start the run with a scavenger that has high karma, and you just bring them through the entire run. And it's only a single cycle anyway, so there's no karma caching there. But Rainworld as a whole is actually pretty light on the exploits and the glitches. It's not really those kind of speedruns where you skip half the game. For the most part, you're still just having to go through every single room by moving normally, which I appreciate. I mean, even for games like that, they usually do have categories that just have normal gameplay, but I don't think it sounds as interesting to learn how to push through a wall compared to how to move fast. I was about to say that that's usually only a thing in older games, but considering the state of a lot of new games nowadays, that's probably not the case. There is still probably a good amount of that ability to skip the entire game, or go through walls, or other glitches. I think holding down the grab button for a bit actually slowed me down. Most new games come with exploits built in. Some games, in fact, may even have checks to, see if your secret's breaking. Just to say, hey, you broke the game, by the way. Don't fix the secrets break. Or don't fix parts of the game that might break if you do the secrets break. No, just say, hey, you're doing something wrong. You're not supposed to do this to our game. We'll patch them out later, yeah. Maybe it'll be in a DLC. pay for this battle pass. Imagine being the developer of the game, no, just a game in general, and secretly having like an alternate account that you use to interact with the speedrunning community so that you can learn all of the glitches and stuff. I mean, actually, that sounds kind of sad because that implies that you then go and fix them, and that they would probably not like that. But you get a good idea of which glitches should stay in the game and which ones just make things worse for everyone. Anything like game crashes or soft locks and stuff are probably things that should be patched. Yay. Yeah, they even in the remix settings. Or no, is it the remix settings or is it the options? Actually no, it is remix settings. Here, vanilla exploits. This setting is literally here to let you do some of the glitches that are useful in speedruns. No, don't enable every single mod. The game would literally crash. Yeah, if there's a glitch that only benefits speedrunners that casual players will never interact with, then why remove it? Some games are like have become or have like actually not really, but some games have a very like interesting speedrunning scene where the glitches are like a really interesting part of it. Like there, like that video, I've talked about this video before, but it's about like Tears of the Kingdom and this like crazy set of exploits that lets you just do so many things. It's like actually a science at that point, the amount of like knowledge they have about the game and how it works and how it doesn't work. How it works in ways that it's not supposed to, you know? And it's so obscure and requires such a very specific sequences of actions that no casual player will ever encounter that. And even if they did, they'd probably think it's pretty cool. Or you could just like load a previous save and it wouldn't cause any damage. I don't think Nintendo has any problem with speedrunners. It's just they have a problem with glitches. And speedrunners tend to use glitches. Because they'll see glitches as a flaw with the game that needs to be fixed. But speedrunning the game is cool as long as you do everything as you're supposed to. In the intended way, you know. Speedrunners also use emulators. Yeah. Yeah. It's strange. We're still here. We're still in drainage system, by the way. If you didn't notice. I've not made any progress at all. Five pips. actually decent cycle length. Time to die to scavengers. I didn't even reset. I don't think you'd ever do riv runs. Sorry, I'm not setting a good example. I want people to run this category, but it is bleak when you're stuck in drainage, and this does happen somewhat often. Just the scavengers, man. Like, why are there even scavengers here? What reason? What do they benefit from being here? It's all wet. There's no space. There's like not even really that much food. There's snails that are annoying. It seems really hard for them to navigate. How would they even move anywhere in this room? They can't swim. Maybe a little bit. All they do is hang out in this little tunnel here just to get your way. For no reason. And I assume that when they designed that room, they were like, hey, let's add a scavenger spawn point here. So scavengers could show up. In this one little area where Riv spawns. I don't really know why. Not many people speedrun Riv either. Even though people see Riv is really moving really fast, having like movement tech and being like, wow, this character speedrun must be crazy. Rain World 2. Everyone said it was too hard, so they made it 10 times easier to avoid creatures. Riv is kind of like if you took Survivor and just added a multiplier to all of their like movement speed values. I'll be honest, I don't think Spearmaster is different at all. I think that's you're making it up. Because I ran tests in arena mode where you can set two characters to be controlled by the same controls. So you're controlling two psychots at the same time. One of them was Hunter and one of them was Spearmaster. And I would move them around in areas where I had like identical terrain, and they always copied each other's movements exactly. It was like I was just controlling two Hunters. Maybe in some scenarios, the tail does impact them somehow. And their weights definitely impacts them with interacting with other creatures or holding onto items and such. I don't think their movement is any different at all. Thank you. I appreciate everyone. All the support with the Spearmaster run. not work the way I want it to. I don't think any other platformer game the same peaks as Rainworld's movement. Rainworld feeling. I get that reference. Yeah, the song that you hear when you're running Artie's Story Percent. No. And then it's gonna activate now. Yeah. That's a time loss. Don't fall. One of those songs that makes me want to turn off in-game music. Literally the reason I set up the playlist for these speedruns. Like like before Artie, I did not have the playlist when doing speedrun attempts. And after the Artie runs, I did. Like apart from all fans. Yes, I am aware of that video. I hope you're also aware of that guy who might be one of my favorite content creators at the moment. For doing a bunch of blind playthroughs of really good games. Including Rainworld, of course. Oliver. About Oliver. And that's the name of the channel. Playing Noida right now. Actually, it's playing like 5 different games. But Noida is the one that I'm watching. And it's very funny. Noida is a very funny game. Ooh, see that wall or that pole hop? Oh. Yep, sorry. Goodness. Riv has plot armor. Yep. I might die to this white lizard, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. Now we're chilling. Oh, is that a specific video? Well, good news. I think I am gonna play Noida. I want to stream that soon. I've learned. Okay, so Noida, I have a interesting relationship with Noida. It's a game that I've been familiar with for a long time. Watching videos about the game, mostly about its really bizarre mechanics or secrets. And in that sense, it's an incredible game. What I did not really watch was just regular gameplay. So just like going down the mines or the caves or whatever they're called, and just like beating the game normally. I never really saw what that was about. I think that's what I want to try to do, just see if I can beat the game. And maybe if I can do that, I'll also try to do like other crazy things. But also, like the wand crafting is so fascinating. You can literally create a wand to teleport you to beat the game in like 2 seconds. And there's ways to transfer wands between games. So you can start a new game starting with this wand that you can then cast the spell to teleport you to the final boss, kill them instantly, and then teleport you to the end, where you then beat the game in 2 seconds. That's a spell that you can create. Like, first of all, how does the game even let you do that? And second of all, how did someone even figure that out? Oy, weird wall pants. I hate that I always end up accidentally picking up that pearl. I'll look for another batfly, whatever. What are you two doing? Casually fusing together? I need one more food, Pip. Hi, scavenger. Hi. Batfly. That was a weird wall jump. It was like faster than normal. I guess it was like boosted by the den a little bit. Also, this suddenly feels like a really slow run. I need another batfly still because I keep dropping them. Hands. There we go. Well, not what I wanted to do. Okay, I don't like this run anymore. I'll try to make it to the end anyway, but I don't think I'm gonna get any better times with this. Yeah, there's like sandbox games. You like place sand and other like materials that would interact with each other. But Noida is basically taking that and then also adding on top like several layers of complexity in terms of the roguelike game, and then the spells, and then the alchemy, and then the secrets. That also reminds me of this idea that I had for a game that is never going to exist, but it sounds interesting. The idea is that it's a tower defense game where your enemy is a cellular automata, and you're kind of like trying to prevent its spread. Like it kind of like grows like naturally. Oh, come on. and you're just kind of defending against this like this entity. I don't know how to describe it, but this is a slow run. I mean, I'm using this shelter because it's closer to farm rays. I have to backtrack to get the echo, but then I never have to like go. Like I just move straight into farm rays from here, right? It feels efficient. I haven't actually tested many different routes, but this feels like the best option. Why are you rolling? This song is kind of loud. Sorry about that. Yeah, no reindeer. Isn't that wonderful? Thank you, Rivulet, for being water-based. Okay, hold on. This is not gonna be a good run anyway, so it doesn't matter if I pause it. Not that it matters if you pause it. Anyway, if you really wanted to, you could pause the game. Go. Oh, something happened up here. Go do whatever. You go to sleep, wake up, finish your speedrun. Submit a like 20-hour long run. RTA ruin. Don't do that, please. If you need to take a break, you probably can, especially for a long category, but I'm saying this as if anyone here is going to do speedruns. Or that the majority of you. And if you already do speedruns, then you don't need my advice. Not be sleeping mid 100%. Rain World 100%, but for every passage you have to, well, you can only get one passage per day. How about that? Or no, one cycle a day. That's the obvious answer. Every time you go to a shelter, you need to actually sleep like hour up. I should have thrown the spear earlier. Yeah, I guess if it was an actual speedrun, you need to record the entire thing. Literally like a week-long video. %, is like 26 cycles. So basically for an entire month, you're recording a very long the game would probably like stop functioning at some point. This is already like much slower. Ow. I can practice this segment again though, which I'm not too familiar with. I only ever do it at the very end of a run. Someday I'm gonna accidentally blink there and die because of it. 53 terabytes. Oh, he didn't mind. Eat the centipede. This mole might be a problem. Oh. Now all of China knows I'm here. That's not a good strategy, by the way. I wouldn't recommend doing that. But if it works, then I think it's the fastest option. If you don't stun yourself there, and if there's no mole lizards. For the middle pipe. I think I'm gonna end the stream. My computer, every time I enter the main menu, my computer starts going crazy. I think it might be because it has like unlimited frame rate. It's at 500 FPS. Almost 600 FPS. What are you doing? Is 600 FPS necessary? Crazy deer skin. No, that's just because it's in the main menu. But anyway, this is going to be the end of the stream. I think I might do something different. I don't know. I think I'm gonna play Tetris on Wednesday. If you want to see some like mid-level Tetris gameplay. There's a specific event that is interesting. And I actually I got a lot of games recently because of the summer sale. So expect some new stuff in the next few months. As for Rain World, I guess I'll keep doing this. I mean, I haven't really gotten a good run yet, and it's not too bad. I mean, drainage system can be a bit rough, but usually if I make it out of drainage, then I can make some progress. So that's usually nice. We'll see. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. See ya.